Hi guys, welcome back to Learning as We Go, City Gone Country. We wanted to do a video that kind of does like a little bit of a Q&A. Lots of people are asking lots of questions, so we wanted to kind of wrap those up, get some answers to people. So our first question that we have heard, we've heard lots about, is what other things do you plan to do on the property? And so some of the answers for that is we do intend eventually to do some gardening and have a giant garden, maybe even a high tunnel. That's something that we're really interested in doing, but we just don't have a whole lot of time to do that on our own at this point. So we're just kind of focusing our efforts on everything else at this point, but then eventually we do plan to move forward and do some gardening, so we're excited about that.
Some other things that we'd like to do on the farm is add some pigs. We recently had paid for a pig to be kind of raised and then eventually butchered, and it just arrived not too long ago. We paid for it to be processed, but we think it would be more cost effective for us to raise our own pigs and have them processed. Still kind of looking into that and how that'll all work out. We also eventually would like to get bees and have our own honey, things like that. I think most all we really would like to be a little bit more self-sufficient, which would be nice. Sell produce, sell meat, maybe trade with other people that are, needing things, or we need things from other people. I'm sure there's a word for that, but I can't remember what it is. So those are some other ideas. Another thing we'd also like to do is replant all of our fruit trees, well, apple trees. We had to chop down all of them because they were infested horribly with bugs. So we would love to plant a new orchard, something that is at the right height to pick all the time when we need to. And I think we'll probably do more than just apples. I think that'll be awesome. And that's just another thing that we want to do. Another thing that we'd like to do is to eventually fence off the whole entire property so that our dogs can just kind of run loose and we don't have to worry about them going into the neighbor's property, but also just to give us a little bit more security around our house. We would love to put a gate over the driveway, and it would be kind of awesome if we have, like some sort of arch with our family name on it. That would be pretty cool too, but I don't know if we're going to do that or not, but that's kind of part of the plan as well. It'll be interesting to see how quickly we can do some of these awesome things that we want to do. The question we've gotten is, have you ever had a chicken hatch their own baby chicks? And in the past, we haven't actually. We've just purchased the chicks, or we've gotten chickens here or there from other people and just let them, kind of grow up and then get to the point where they're laying eggs. But currently right now we have a brooding chicken, and we were told that, just let her run her course and be a brooder. That might not be the right word. So she's been brooding. Apparently they sit on their eggs for 21 days and then they hatch. And so what we did is, she had a solid 3 under there, and so we just put big giant X's on them. So we knew that when she's in there, that those are the chicks that she's been laying on, or eggs that she's been laying on, hopefully turning into chicks. And then we just been scooping the eggs around her out because the other chickens like to get in there and lay eggs with her, which is so weird. And maybe they're all like, you can, hatch our babies too. We don't have time for that. So that's kind of interesting. This will be our first, set of chickens, baby chicks. So we're interested to see what the whole process will be, but maybe we'll shoot some video so you can see what she's doing now, what the little eggs look like with the big X's on them, and what the end process will be. Another question we've heard is, what is the point in having all these baby goats? What was your thought process when you started this? What do you want to do with them? Those kind of things. And so originally our thought process was to, have all these babies, and we would probably end up selling off the boys and maybe some of the girls as well, but we wanted to breed all of them and work on making like goat milk soap and goat milk products. My mom loves to drink goat's milk. All of us are basically lactose intolerant for the most part, except for I don't think my dad is. So we also thought it could be a good substance for us to replace regular milk, or cow's milk, shall I say. And I mean, I don't think it would be a good supplement for like the almond milk and things that we drink now, almond milk and rice milk, but it would be healthier for us and it would give us the calcium that we need. Those other milks don't really provide that. So that was part of our thought process on that. We have been having, a hard time, getting everything orchestrated for that. The mamas didn't milk as long as we had planned, but it's our first year, so it's something that's definitely a process for us. And we look forward to really just expanding and seeing how that goes and seeing if that's something that we want to continue to do. Another question we have is kind of a sad one, but just have we ever had any animals die? And if so, how do we handle that process? And as some of you have seen in our last video, maybe a couple videos ago, we lost our goat Lenny, our bottle baby Lenny, and so that was really emotional and very sad. And honestly, at that point, we thought about giving up and not doing this anymore, which seems so silly, but we put so much effort and love into this little baby in 11 weeks. He came and lived in our house the first night because we had no idea what we were doing. People are feeding him every single day. It was just such a unique experience and a heartwarming experience. So then when we lost him, we really wanted to reevaluate what we're doing and why we're doing it and things like that. We also lost a kitten. Well, a kitten was stillborn, and then we lost another kitten. I think they were about 10 or 11 weeks. And that was also very sad too. And to me, they were days apart. So it was like on a Monday, the kitten had passed away. On a Wednesday, Lenny passed away. And at that point, I feel like I was at my breaking point, and I was like, I can't watch another animal die. I don't know how I'm going to handle this. We've also had, coyotes steal a chicken here or there. And, that's sad too, but it's not as emotional, which kind of sounds horrible, but, it's definitely a process. And I don't think everybody can share the same, I don't think everybody processes everything the same way. So for each person, it's going to be different. But for us, it was definitely emotional losing Lenny and our kitten. And, I guess it's how things go. And we did reevaluate, and, we're making changes. So we'll see how everything pans out. Another question that we had was, what started this process for you? Why did you guys choose to do this? And for us, we've dreamt about this for 10 plus years. We really wanted to make a huge difference in our lives, and we wanted to have fresh. Another question that's been asked is, why did we decide to do this? And for us, we've dreamt about this for 10 plus years, being more self-sufficient. And that truck is really loud. Don't they know I'm recording something? Anyways, to be more self-sufficient and just to be able to have healthier options for our family. Also to have experiences and teach our kids things, and just being able to have a different lifestyle. And I think it's good. It's such a great learning experience this whole time. We've learned so much because in the beginning we really had no idea what we're doing. And we're just learning literally as we go, and it's been insane, but it's been great. It's been amazing. And if we don't know it, we learn it, and if we're having a problem, we figure out why we're having that problem and how to fix it. Maybe it's not the best way to do things, but it's the way that we've decided to do things.
Hi y'all. So we're doing a little bit of Q&A here, and I have been asked, I can't even tell you how many times, what the gestation is for a goat, and it's actually 150 days. Some goats cycle every month, some goats only cycle for a few months. Our Nubian goats cycle from October till January, and that's the only time that they can get pregnant. So the answer to your question is 150 days. Ask probably a dozen times that we have theme names for our cats, and if there's any other animals on our property that have theme names. Our goats have theme names. We have Our very first goats were Ricky and Lucy. And then we got Lola, which is a showgirl. And she's the only one that's probably not a sitcom name. Then we got Laverne and Shirley and Squiggy. And then Laverne had Lenny. Then we had Joni and Ethel Mertz, to go with Fred Mertz, because they are Ricky and Lucy's best friends. And then
We have
only
Fred.
one goat who doesn't have a theme name, and that would be Trouble, who gave his mama way too much trouble when he was born. Start naming our chickens when we first got them. We had Penelope, Penny, Harley Quinn. Those were our first 3 chickens. And then we had Mr. Buck, who was our rooster. But we have approximately 30 chickens, 5 roosters now, and most of them don't have names. The roosters have names. We have King Arthur, we have Lionhearted, we have Robin Hood, and then we have Oakland and Raider. That's because we have 5 roosters and it's easier to name them. We have lots of hens that look alike. So we have really stopped naming hens, and we probably have stopped naming roosters. So one of the other questions I've gotten asked a lot is, how much time does it take to do chores, and how often do I do them? Well, I do the majority of the chores because the other 3 grown-ups on the property have full-time jobs, and then the kids, of course, go to school. So I'm the stay-at-home farm girl. So I do chores twice a day, once in the morning and once at night. And I have actually done a video which we plan to upload, showing you how I do the chores. A lot of times during the weekend, Chantel comes and does chores with me. If there's any projects, it's all man on deck, and we all work together. So, any building projects, any fencing projects, we usually do when Papa has the weekend off, and David kicks in and helps. So then we of course have JJ who helps, and Jen watches the baby, and everybody just pitches in. So as we do chores 2 times a day, and it takes about a half an hour each time. So some of the things that we have learned on this farm is how to purchase food for the animals. We started out by going to the local co-op just in town and purchasing bags of food, and it was hard because we couldn't actually see what was in it. The first several months I was constantly giving our animals probiotics because it seemed like every bag of food that I bought was different. So it'd be pellets, or it would be pellets mixed with corn, or it would just be different. And then we started going to a larger supply chain, and they always kept the same kind of food. So I started just buying that. And we would go through, just for cats, dogs, goats, chickens, we spent between $250 to $300 a month. Not a month, every payday for the animals, which I felt like was like so expensive. So we've been looking around. I wanted something high quality, especially like for the dogs. I don't like to feed the dogs anything but meat. I don't want a dog food that's full of grain because they work really hard and they play really hard. So I wanted high quality. I wanted a high protein level for the chickens, at least 16%, plus extra like corn or sunflower seeds, or something like that, just to help them stay healthy. And we ended up finding a co-op that's in the next county, not too far from us. Takes probably 15-20 minutes to drive there, and they make their own feed, and we started purchasing that, and our feed costs dropped to like $100 every 2 weeks. That includes the cats, the dogs, the goats, and the chickens. And so we have learned that we need to shop around, and we need to know exactly what we're looking for when it comes to feed. And now we get really good quality feed for our chickens. We've started using the same place for our goats. The feed looks wonderful. Our goats really enjoy it. We bought a higher quality, 81% protein for our dogs who run nonstop. So I just feel like we're giving them better food now than we did when we first got here. So we have also learned that we need to be better planners. When we got the goats, we just moved out here, and we got dogs, we got cats, and then we got the goats, and we really didn't plan anything for them. So now we have things on the burner. So now we have things that we are moving towards and ideas that we want to do for this coming spring. We're going to implement the important things first, like build the pen and build the enclosure for them. Because we built an enclosure for the goats the day we got them. And then we moved it because we found that where we had it wasn't a good area. And then we moved it to the right area. And then we built the barn for it. So we're finding that we're doing the work 2 or 3 times to get it to where we really want it to be, or really where it needs to be. So we've learned that we need to stop. We need to decide what our next step is. We need to research what that animal needs, and do that prior to getting the animal. So that's been a huge step for us.
Hi guys, thank you for watching. If you liked this video, please like down below. If you're not a subscriber yet, feel free to subscribe, share with your friends. Hopefully this video was helpful to you, and hopefully you guys enjoy it, and have a great night.